Hello everyone. Today we will be talking about the storages in Android. So we have five storage options in Android, which is shared preferences, internal storage, external storage, SQLite database, and network connection. Shared preferences are one of the most simplest way to store data. Internal storage are the storage of images, files, or anything in your app. Only your app can access it. You cannot access it from your file manager until and unless your phone is rooted. If your phone is rooted, you can obviously mm, you know you can access the internal storage, you can manipulate it, or even you can do it same thing with the shared preferences. If your phone is rooted, you can just go to your apps and you can go to find the shared preferences folder and you can just go and edit over there. External storage are the storages which are stored on your mobile, like yeah, your music, which you can access through file manager. And SQLite database is just like the MySQL or SQLite in your laptop. Um, WhatsApp uses this kind of database to store its data. And network connection is to connect your app with the server. You just need your IP address and the, the destination of your database connectivity. And so let's start with a new project. Yeah, so we'll be talking about shared preferences. Ah, don't forget to include the Kotlin support because we will be coding in Kotlin. So let's build that up. 4.4 is great. We're getting 90% success rate. And we'll go for empty activity. Yeah, main activity and finish. I will be posting my code on GitHub so you can take a reference from there. Let's first go to the UI. And the Gradle build is taking too much time today. Give it a second. Yeah, here it is. Shared preferences. I have selected and delete. And now let's add a text, plain text, constraints. Let's put some constraints. Put this thing back. Show only the design, no blueprints. So constraints are like this. I think the constraint layout is the best layout of the Android Studio. Uh, it's just personal choice. Few people still code in Java and still use native layout. I don't know why. It's my name. It's an example of a shared preference app, so we'll just store our name into the shared preference. We will call it, and then I'll tell you the method to secure it because your data can be accessed in a rooted phone, so which is not secure. And storage can be used to, if you're making an app, if you're making a game, then you can use to store the score of the your game, and any other things like your private secret data. So let's go on. So insert btn insert button. Insert. Let's make it null because I don't like the background of this button, and instead of text we will make it hint over here. Let's cut it and control V or command V, paste it. Now we will get one more button to show the data. Constraint up, left, right, show btn. Show data. Now I need the text view to show the data. Let's make it 24 SPs. Change the text view name to output data. Let's hide it. Let's go to the Kotlin file. In it, the UI means initializing the UI. We have name. That's my name. Yeah, my name, insert button, show button, output data. Okay. My name, find view by ID. Let's edit text. .id dot my name. Very good. Now, well, save insert button. Sorry, I keep on forgetting things. Button, find view by ID, self type button, dot ID dot save insert button. Well, show button, find view by ID button, dot ID dot show button. Now, well, output data. Text dot ID dot output data. Now insert button this. Always add comment to your code because this is the best programming practice, and after when you open your code after a few weeks or a month, then you get easy understanding what you have written. So let's get insert button, set on click list now. Yes. Now, well, name, get the name by my name. Text, you don't use get text, use just text, and we'll trim it to string and trim. We're trimming it because if we leave a space, then it won't show it's empty. We will take a empty check. If name is empty, then we will make a toast dot make text application context. Please enter a name. Toast dot length short. We'll keep it short and show. Similarly, we'll return. So it won't go. The code won't run ahead of this if statement over here. So now to call shared preferences, we use shared preferences we call get shared preferences. So shared preferences in it. The first parameters to be passed is, usually people pass the name, like your app name, like my app name would be shared pref. And the mode is to be 0. Most of the time it's 0. You can read about the modes, there are different modes, but I prefer 0 and I recommend 0. Now we will get the editor. Getting the editor to edit data, where editor shared preferences edit. Now putting the data into the editor dot put string, which is my name. Now we will commit the changes. Before that, we have to apply the changes. So what we will do, editor dot apply, over here editor dot commit. Now the data would be in the shared preferences memory. Now to call the data, show button, set on click listener, again well shared, we can copy it, copy and paste. Well shared preferences, get string. We have to get the string, which is my name, and we have to get the default value of it, which could be null. Now we will show the data. Output data, text. Now let's run the app, check if it's working or not. It's gonna take some time to build the data because this is the first time we are running the app. So now it comes to security of the data stored in the shared preferences. How we can secure it? Obviously, we can use encryption, and we will be using encryption into it to secure the data. We will be using base 64 encryption to encrypt the data, and again to decode the data, base 64. Obviously, we have to use that. So by the time the data builds, we write the function to encode then decode the data. Function to encode and decode the data. Private fun encode data. This is the message. Name, string, and the output type also be string, the return type, which you can say. We will take val e, the encoded form, encoded Yes. Now we will take base 64, and base 64. Make sure you take Android.util, not Java.util. Base 64. Base 64. We have taken base 64. Now we will use encode. Uh, Forgot to put colon over here. Yeah, right the colon. Now we will encode the string to an byte array. So it takes byte array as the parameter. Now the type of encryption, which is default, and we will return encoded to string. Now let's check the app which was built. And lagging a lot. Coder, insert data, show data. Nice. Now let's make it coder sing. I click on show data, it doesn't work. When I insert it, show data, I get the coder sing. So it's working perfectly, but now we have to encode and decode it. We have written the encoded function, now the decode one. So I should copy it only. Copy, paste. Instead of encode, I'll replace it with decode, and over here I will replace it by decode. So when I'm storing the data, I should first encode the data. Now if it's not empty, we will replace the name by encoded data name only. And we'll make it same thing, where name is equals to decoded data name. Or we can take name encoded, val, this time, and we will use it so that you can see the data is being converted. $name encoded data, then \n name. Yeah, so we are over here. Name, we have used \n for a new line. Now a little change over here. We had over here encoded to string. We had this thing over here and this thing over here as well, but instead of that we have to convert this to a string which is encoded. And there's a difference because over here it's returning as a byte array, and converting to string means that it converts the byte array as it is into a string instead of converting those bytes into an actual human readable string. So over here this string class is doing that thing for us to convert the byte array into proper human readable string. So just make sure that you do that and just run your app. Let's see. Come on, let's be like coder. Insert it and we'll show the data. See, this is the encrypted data. If any hacker or even you as a developer want to see the data, but you obviously can't because it's an encrypted file. So thank you so much, and make sure you apply this security to secure your apps, and see you soon.